If you've ever noticed a ringing, buzzing, or high-pitched noise in your ears that no one else seems to hear, this video may be one of the most important things you watch this year. Because according to researchers linked to Harvard, that sound is not random, and ignoring it could be a serious mistake. Many people believe ringing ears, also known as tinnitus, is just an annoying side effect of age, stress, or loud sounds, something you learn to live with. But recent findings suggest something far more alarming. They indicate that there may be a short window of time, sometimes as little as 14 days, where action matters more than people realize. And once that window closes, the ringing may become much harder or even impossible to reverse. Here's the part most people never hear. The ringing sound itself is not the problem. It's a signal, a warning sign that something deeper is happening inside the brain and auditory system. Researchers discovered that when certain neural pathways become overstimulated or inflamed, the brain can begin generating phantom sounds, even in complete silence. In other words, your brain is creating noise because it believes something is wrong. And the longer that signal is ignored, the more the brain reinforces that faulty loop. That's why some people notice ringing that starts quietly, then slowly grows louder over time. Night becomes the worst. Silence makes the sound impossible to escape. Sleep becomes difficult. Focus fades. Anxiety increases. And most people are told the same thing. There's nothing you can do. You'll have to live with it. But that statement is now being questioned. What researchers found is that early intervention matters, not with drugs or surgery, but by addressing the root neurological imbalance that triggers the ringing in the first place. This imbalance often starts small. It can be triggered by stress, poor sleep, inflammation, long-term noise exposure, even nutritional deficiencies that affect nerve signaling. Individually, these don't seem dangerous, but together they create the perfect conditions for the brain to misfire. And once the brain locks in that misfiring pattern, the ringing may become permanent. That's where the idea of a critical time window comes in. Researchers observed that people who acted early, before the brain fully adapted to the faulty signal, had far better outcomes than those who waited. The problem is, most people wait. They ignore the ringing, they assume it will go away, they turn up the TV, they distract themselves. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and by the time they seek answers, the brain has already learned the sound. Here's what's important to understand. This is not about curing anything overnight. It's about interrupting the signal before it becomes deeply ingrained. That's why some newer approaches focus on calming neural overactivity, supporting healthy nerve communication, and reducing the internal stress signals that amplify tinnitus. Instead of masking the sound, they aim to tell the brain, "You're safe. You don't need to generate this noise." That shift alone can make a dramatic difference for some people, especially done early. This is why researchers warn against waiting, not to scare people, but to inform them, because once the brain adapts fully, retraining it becomes far more difficult. If you or someone you know has noticed ringing, buzzing, or humming in the ears, even if it's mild, even if it comes and goes, that may be the moment that matters most. The goal is awareness, understanding that this sound is not something to ignore, and knowing that science is finally catching up to what many people have felt for years, that tinnitus is not just in your head in the dismissive sense, but it is driven by brain signaling that can be influenced. If you want to learn more about the neurological mechanism behind this and what researchers are now exploring to address it naturally, there is a detailed presentation linked below this video. It explains the science in simple terms and outlines why timing plays such a critical role. No pressure, no hype, just information that many people wish they had seen sooner. Because when it comes to ringing ears, waiting and hoping may be the worst strategy of all.